Hi, this is Mr. Newland, and we're actually at the last exercise for the painting style project here, where we're doing 4 different exercises. The first one we did was the realistic one, where the realistic we painted with a large soft brush at low opacity to get that realistic style. Then we changed brushes and did an expressionistic brush. We, kind of made darks darker, brighter colors brighter, and painted boldly to give an impressionistic style where we actually could see the edges of the brush strokes. And the third one was the stippling, where we used opaque dots of color to create the impressionistic look of an apple. Okay, now we're going to do a monochromatic. And the monochromatic, I'm going to open the monochromatic example that I have here, is an example of the different variations you can get using just using a white background on this one and painting the apple with one color. And when you choose your color, let's just say I'm going to color picker here and you choose purple, for instance. You can use any color within this spectrum on this. You don't move it up or down. Whether you pick blue, green, whatever, red, it doesn't matter. You just use whatever's in that color picker window for a monochromatic look. So yes, you will have tints, yes, you'll have hues, and some of the saturated color too. Okay, so let's get started on this. So let me turn off the example here, and we're going to actually paint, we're going to paint this over the template there, not actually on the layer. So I click on the template layer, click the background using the magic wand, just like we did. And of course the magic wand selects everything in the background. So then we say select inverse and it takes just the apple. Now I'm just going to turn that template layer off, which is locked. Create a new layer for my monochromatic painting here. You may already have your layer there. Okay, so to do this, I'm going to actually just look at my other ones to get the monochromatic look. You can actually pull the template over and look at the template, but I can do it by looking at these other apples that I have here. Okay, so now I have to select a brush, and the brushes that you typically use when you come up here under this menu, we have the those 4 different categories of brushes. Or actually, I only have 3 there. I must have lost one. I'm going to show you another way to get brushes. If you go to Window and go to Brush Settings, there's some very unique brushes over here too. So you can actually take. I'm just going to kind of show you. Show you what some of these brushes might look like. You can play around with them if you'd like, but the brush that I'm going to use is actually going to be that one. That one actually could work too. So I could use this one. It gives it kind of a sponge-like look, or this one. I kind of like this one too. It's kind of a real spatter kind of a look too. So these types of brushes are the types of brushes you're going to use to do this. I'm going to hit delete to get rid of them in that area. I'm going to stick with this brush here, and let me pick a color to choose. So I guess I got purple, so I guess I'll stay with purple for right now. And I'll start with a very dark color of purple, and I'm going to do this at 100% opacity. So my opacity is at 100, and I can make my brush size really big at first in order to start getting the that. Now I don't want to go like that. I don't want to do a stroke. Okay, I want to just click. So you click your mouse. I'm going to zoom in here too, I guess. So I'm going to click my mouse to give this kind of. Notice I have to kind of do it almost like a circular type of a motion when I'm clicking in order to not create like basically lines, I guess, and because I'm doing this at such a large brush, it goes really quick. This is kind of like a sponge painting kind of thing. Okay, and now my darker side of the apple is over here, so I'm going to do a lot on that, and along this edge here to do that. The shadow up in here where the stem is, make my brush a lot smaller, and because I have a dark color. It goes rather quickly. If I make it really small, I can do the stem itself. I should probably get an even darker color for that. Go all the way down to the very darkest purple to get that little stem in there. And just clicking away to get that stem, you can kind of see it materializing there. And then of course if I go to the brighter color, I can do the brighter side of that stem. Alright, so let's add some more. Let's make my brush bigger and add some more of this brighter color. Oops, get it bigger here. There we go. So now I'm going to add some more of the monochromatic look of the purple, which is, of course, very, very light. In this case, choosing that color. And we go to more of a medium now, kind of get a medium purple in there. So even though it's a, let me make my brush smaller here. Even though it's a one color painting, it almost seems like there's more colors there. Okay, because of the way you can choose all of these. Let me go for that really dark again. I want to kind of exaggerate the bottom part here. Go back for that really bright color for the reflection. And of course we have the make it smaller to get the reflection above here. So it doesn't really take long to using this technique to do a painting. Go back to some more of my nice bright purple color. Make my brush a little bigger here. So the idea is just to make it look interesting, using all the colors that you can within. All right, so now I've got a nice purpley apple there. Make that brighter, just a little bit brighter in the middle there. You can actually, just to show you too, you can actually take the eraser tool, and that's a brush. You can actually use the same brush with the eraser tool, and you can actually use that to erase, if you want to in order to get that center even brighter, I'm using the eraser tool to just get that center in, a little brighter there, a little brighter here. A little bit of, you can take away is what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to think if I can demonstrate it over on this side a little bit. So I can kind of take away some of the, if I wanted to make a lighter area here using the eraser tool. It's pretty cool. It's like a brush. And then of course, if I want to get back to the darker color, I go back to my brush and just finish it off by putting some really dark along the edge here. Exaggerating the darkness probably a little bit. Make my brush a little smaller again to get here. Get that shadow. So it's definitely a kind of impressionistic look. Alright, so let's go ahead and do the background now. So I'll have to add another layer and pull that below the layer I'm working on. And this will be, of course, a purple layer as well, because I chose purple. Alright, so I select the whole background, and I guess I should do a little bit better than that. Oh, I thought I could. One more time here. There we go. Alright, so now I'm going to go ahead and paint the background. I'll start with a nice bright color for the background and get my brush again, selecting make it bigger here, and I'm just going to make get a lot bigger. And notice that I didn't move it. Got to make sure I put it behind or underneath the apple.